Bond, one of the missiles has been reactivated. We believe it is targeted on London. An unknown source has tapped into the network directly from a telemetry tower in the launch area itself. You must get to the launch area and stop that missile.
Welcome back to Everything or Nothing, I'm Frozen Treasure. Willem Dafoe has progressed to the supervillain equivalent of throwing a tantrum, but that doesn't mean our job is any easier. In fact, this level on 00 Agent may very well be the hardest level of the game, bordering on impossible. To start with, we need to clear out this and the next room, and take note of the extreme efficiency with which this is being done. We are not messing around now. At last, another sniper rifle that is of actual use to us. Haven't seen one of those since New Orleans. And now that the threats have been eliminated, it's time to pick up some Bond moments and set ourselves up for the real challenge of this level. This is our last Q-Spider Bond moment, and this guy's got a long way to travel. The obvious thought would be that we need to do something in this room here, but does this room not look familiar? Yes, we're back in the top floor of the base, and for the second and final time, actions we performed in a previous level will give us the advantage. That spider served its country well. Now let's stock up. If we had somehow managed to know about that path and opened that door without having opened the vault the last time we were here, all that would be waiting for us in here would be some armor and rockets. But by opening the vault, we get full battery, machine gun ammo, Desert Eagle ammo, shotgun ammo, and rocket launcher ammo, as well as an extra 4 armored vests. We're as prepared as we'll ever be, so let's get moving. A nano guard in the dark just seems pointless. Actually, this whole room being dark is weird. Doesn't make much sense. If the base was damaged and the lights were flickering, it'd make sense. Also, that would be an interesting piece of level design, or it would if the thermovision was useless in a bright area like night vision goggles are. A really tough room. There's a lot of enemies in this small space, and no way to hide or run without exposing ourselves. All we can do is be very, very quick about killing them, and that means more liberal usage of the shotgun and Desert Eagle. And with this room clear, we can return back to the vault for some armor. I genuinely cannot imagine doing the next room without full or very near full health. Obviously, that is the way we want to go, but it's important that we don't do so. First, we need to send the Q-Spider forward. The place where the crate got destroyed was a trigger that will spawn guards in the room. But the spider won't trigger them, so by sending the spider forward first, we can hide it ahead of where they'll spawn, run forward to spawn the guards, then retreat back to the previous room. It's tricky to aim, but we can still shoot from quite a distance. The guards are alert, so these aren't stealth kills, but they are non-lethal, so we still get more points than if we'd engaged them directly. Plus, we take no risk, and with how far we have to go, minimizing risks is crucial.
Surround him!
Now that they're all taken care of, we can establish ourselves in this room properly, get past the bottleneck and out into the first open area. Oddly, this open area is good for us here, mainly because it's not incredibly massive, but also because there are few places for the enemies to hide and ambush us now. This is important because the one thing enemies like to do in this room is ambush us. See? Even after we've cleared out an area, enemies can and will come for us. It doesn't happen constantly, but it does add on to the difficulty of moving through this room. And that's the final Bond moment of the game. Now we just need to kill Willem Dafoe and get a gold rank. At this point, there's enough nano guards mixed in with the regular enemies that it's best to just leave thermovision on almost all the time. You know, while I will give the bad guys credit for hiding, attacking the second they see us, and attacking in large numbers, it doesn't make it less frustrating to go through here. It's a good thing they all drop ammo when they die, because it would be really annoying to have to go all the way back to the vault to refill our gun. Though it is annoying on its own that, in order to keep things balanced, a dropped gun will only ever contain up to 9 rounds. Finally, the end of the room. But we're still not done yet. Luckily, the rest of this is a walk in the park compared to that room, and even if we took enough damage to be in trouble, there's still 5 more armored vests we can run back for. That red door is where we need to go, but first let's explore these 2 doors, and if you've got a good sense of direction, you may realize where we are and have a good idea of what's behind them. Yes, this entire level has been a giant, deadly loop from where we started, all because James Bond is incapable of climbing over a waist-high chain-link fence. Maybe the fact that we don't get any Bond moments for finding stuff with the spider in this level is the game's way of saying that it's not special anymore.
This is where you die.
Ah yes, the epic final battle we were all waiting for, between us and an automated turret. Also, that's 6 times he's claimed we were definitely going to die. Now, that's probably something we should stop. Good thing we've got this turret handy.
What happened?
They fell for each other.
And, what about us? Oh, James. What was that for?
Call it a hint of bigger things to come.
There's the James Bond we know and love. If only he was around for the other 75% of the game. And there you have it, the single-player campaign of Everything or Nothing is complete. We've got a few goodies as a reward, but we'll get to those shortly. For now, I think this is a good time for me to talk more in depth about why I love this game so much, and consider it the best Bond game that's been made to date, as if it weren't fairly obvious at this point. The simple reason is that it's fun, the most like playing a Bond movie you can get. The characters and the music and the story and the set pieces create an amazing roller coaster, the likes of which none of the other 007 games do. The gameplay is solid and offers a great amount of challenge to those looking for it. Between the objectives in each level, the stealth, the driving, the melee combat, the gadgets, the Bond moments, and the platinum objectives, which we'll see in another video, it's an amazing amount of variety in such a relatively short playtime. One of the biggest criticisms leveled against the game when it originally released was that the single player ran too short, but I think it's a perfect length to not overstay its welcome. Even 10 years after its release, it plays well enough to stand up to modern third-person shooters and still looks pretty nice as well. The comparison to GoldenEye can easily be made when talking about the best Bond game, and while what sometimes seems like everyone in the universe loves it, I personally never thought it aged well, if at all. Plus, GoldenEye never felt like much of a Bond experience to me, instead more of a sightseeing tour of locations vaguely similar to the movie. The multiplayer is a bit of a different story, but we'll get to that in another video as well. That's everything I have to say, but I suggest you keep watching through the credits rather than skip through to try and find the end of the credits. There's something special waiting at the end.
I've always felt with these kind of games that the more real they are, the better they are, you know? And the reality of these games is very, very close to the reality of the Bond movies. I remember going to the Bond movies myself when I was in my very early 20s and coming out walking slightly differently, you know, kind of beginning to act it out. It's a great temptation, I think, at least for all young males.
He's a stud, he's hot. My mom knows who he is. I remember watching as a child, James Bond, James Bond, James Bond.
I've met young kids out there, and I don't think they've even seen the Bond movies. They've heard of the Bond movies, but they connect straight to the game because that's where their head is at. They're in the game world, and they play all the games that are out there, and the Bond ones have always been the most successful.
For me, gaming is very high stress. I'm very competitive. For me, it amps me up. I'm like, no, I'm gonna make this work, and I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna get there, and it's a big deal for me. I play Serena St. Germain. I'm an American geologist working in South America, and I help James Bond defeat the villains. It's amazing for me to be involved in such a great project with so many amazing actors, Judi Dench and Willem Dafoe and Pierce Brosnan.
Beautiful, aren't they? First, we take over Russia. Then we unleash our little nanobots on the world.
I play Katyana Donova, and I'm an ex-KGB agent, and I'm a real bad girl. Well, we started the day by scanning my face with this high-tech machine. It's a cyber scan machine where you see completely everything from all different angles, so they get exactly the way I look. I can't wait to play myself. To play myself. I wonder how that's gonna be.
I just have to say I had a ball recording the song For Everything and Nothing. I did something musically that I've never done before. Number one, video game. I'm actually involved in animation as well, so I have all these things going through my head when I'm in the booth.
But the great thing about this game is that the kids get the chance actually to be Bond, and so they have the relationship with me in the game that Bond has with me in the movies.
I provided you with a device called a steering wheel, 007. Perhaps you should try to find it.
Ah, the old Q lab. Feels just like coming home. You've got the cast. What they've done here is they've created the whole ensemble of a Bond movie within the world of video games. I've seen other people crack at it, but this time they've got my likeness and they've got my voice. Bond. James Bond.
It's lovely that Bond is really so loved and that it's out there on a regular basis. And, you know, we're missing making a movie this year, so the game is there.
We don't actually get anything for getting every Bond moment in the game, aside from satisfaction. It's a good thing we got all those spider kills. We barely got enough score for the gold rank. Would have liked higher efficiency, but considering we beat the level at all, I'm not going to complain. And at long last, that's every gold rank. For beating the game, we unlock the MI6 Combat Simulator and Survival Test, and for getting all the golds, we unlock the Gallery, but we'll check all that out and more at another time. Thanks for watching.